The year is 1963. The place is the sleepy town of New Salem, Illinois. A new art gallery has just opened its doors with a grand opening party, and the townspeople are flocking to see what this new business is all about. But it's not just any art gallery. This is no ordinary collection of paintings and sculptures. This is something far more sinister. This is the home of the Cursed Soul Gallery. What cursed souls? Well, when the guests enter, they soon realize that each painting on the walls is possessed by a demon. He's an artist named Jude Morrow, and he's a bit of a downer. One of the paintings on the wall seems to be moving. She tells Jude that they need to get rid of this painting, but first they have to wait for the right moment, and sees a vision of a woman standing in the living room. He starts to change his mind. Soon it will be nighttime, and that means the other souls will be stirring. Some are more aggressive than others, but none can match the power of Jude's gift. Just as the sun begins to rise, he completes his final sketch, banishing the last soul. The house is now free of its evil energies, and Hazel's ghost is able to finally rest in peace. And the first one he must banish is the territorial one in the living room. Well, then you're in luck, because there are plenty of other tales of the unexpected. What are you waiting for? Go watch them all right now. He's still processing everything that happened the night before, and he doesn't know if he's really cut out for this hero business. But Lydia assures him that he will come around, and she's right. Getting ready with his art supplies, Jude sets up his easel and prepares to capture the beast. As the clock strikes midnight, the painting begins to glow red, and with a quick sketch, Jude traps the creature forever. And in a final act of magnanimity, Jude captures Noah's soul and releases him from his own painting. In doing so, Jude becomes the greatest artist of all time and the most powerful wielder of the sight. The painting goes dead. Hazel thanks him and moves on to wherever ghosts go, and Lydia tells Jude that he did well, but there are many more paintings to go. When he returns to the living room, he sees that the vision was actually a ghost. Her name was Hazel Court, and she was the original owner of the house. She lived here 100 years ago with her sister, who had a lover named Cyrus Grimley. He travels to New York City to learn more about his powers, uncovers a conspiracy involving a secret society called the Lux, and discovers that his own mother was a member. And when she learned that he had inherited the site, she tried to kill him. But through it all, Jude manages to hone his skills and becomes a better and better artist. When Cyrus was killed in a robbery gone wrong, Hazel's sister was accused of the crime, even though she didn't do it. To protect her sister's reputation, Hazel took the blame for the murder and went to jail, where she died of a broken heart. Her soul became trapped in the house, turning it into a nexus for other cursed souls to gather. Most of these souls sleep during the day and are active at night. Since it's the middle of the afternoon, they have time to kill. As they wait, Lydia explains to Jude how the world of the site works, and how he has been chosen to help clean up the world by ridding it of these cursed souls once and for all. Now, you might think, hey, this must be the cursed soul that everyone's talking about. But there's actually hundreds of these things in the world, and they're all stuck in paintings. This particular one is merely territorial. It wants to make sure that no other souls are placed in its territory. And it is particularly grumpy tonight, because it can sense that Jude has inherited the site and is thus a threat to its existence. His wife recently left him. His career isn't going anywhere, and he's moved into his late grandmother's house after she passed away. That's why he's surprised when he meets his grandmother's old friend, Miss Lydia Brightmore, at the grand opening of his new art gallery. Lydia had been expecting to find a much younger man, so she's taken aback by Jude's appearance. But when she sees his artwork, she knows she's found the successor to her own sight. You see, she has sight as well, and she believes that Jude has inherited it from her. No, seriously. When the gallery owner dims the lights and turns on the spotlight, the paintings begin to move. Their eyes roll around in their sockets. How exactly does one go about killing an evil spirit? By throwing holy water at it, perhaps? Or maybe reading it a passage from the Bible? Well, not quite. In fact, the best way to kill these spirits is through art. Specifically, the best way is to simply draw them. If you can capture a demon on paper, then you have the power to banish it back to hell where it came from. That is exactly what happens in the pages of Tales of the Unexpected, a comic book series published by Dark Horse Comics between 2017 and 2018. Some scream, others growl menacingly. There are even some portraits whose subjects appear to be in mid-death throes, screaming in pain. It's actually quite difficult, because these creatures are incredibly powerful and they are very aware of their own power. They will do anything they can to resist being captured so they can continue tormenting humans. So the only artists capable of banishing these things are those who are blessed with a gift known as sight. These individuals can see the true form of the demons, which can sometimes take on a life of their own and then capture them in their drawings, and contorting in ways the human body was never meant to bend. It's terrifying, and nobody has any idea how this is possible. The people at the party are shocked, but intrigued enough to stick around and find out. And while you might think that drawing demons is a pretty easy task, if you can draw a little devil face, our story begins in the pages of issue number 4. Although it's really more like issue number 1, because we meet our protagonist here. But before she can explain this to him, they are interrupted by a strange disturbance. Now, while most people would probably run away screaming at this point, Lydia isn't fazed in the slightest. At first, Jude doesn't believe her, but when he goes to the kitchen to get a drink, Hazel begs Jude to free her from the house. But he tells her that he needs more time to prepare. As the night wears on, Jude captures one soul after another. In the morning, Lydia tells Jude that he is ready to take the next step in his training, but he says he needs more time to think. Over the next few weeks, Jude finds himself getting sucked back into the world of the sight. In the end, he faces off against the leader of the Bucks, a man named Noah Graves, who tries to kill Jude but fails. And that's the story of Jude, Morrow, and the Cursed Soul Gallery. Did you enjoy this episode?